So I just left the hotel in Madison, went to Costco, got a little bit of food for later tonight, and I'm heading back the same way I went towards Wisconsin Dells. I'm taking 12 west, and I'm going to link up, I guess, with I-94, and we're headed to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, which is a 5-hour, 45-minute ETA, which will bring me in at 6 p.m., which is a little later than I wanted, but really I think all I'm looking at is Sioux Falls or the Falls, and then I'm going to make my way to Mitchell to spend the evening. So we are in the middle of the countryside. I fueled up at Costco, and I can probably drive for 4 hours, depending on bathroom breaks. But I've got water. I've got a few other things I need to buy, like a little shovel at Home Depot, as well as some ghee for cooking, small bottles, and maybe if I run by a supermarket or something where they have butter or ghee, preferably ghee, as well as needing to get maybe a little bit of spice, like garlic powder, onion powder. I was looking into how to make that amazing ranch, buttermilk ranch that they have out here, and I like it a lot, so I'm going to give that a shot. I don't know if I'm going to give it, yeah, probably at some point on this trip I'll give that a shot, but it's a nice day today. Looking forward to heading to South Dakota. As you can see, we're in the middle of farmlands, heading up towards Wisconsin Dells, which Nat and I went to yesterday. Really nice area. See how the Wisconsin River and the glacial flow kind of carved out the land and created these very interesting rocks and palisades all along the river. It was really, really nice to see, especially Witch's Gulch. That was very interesting. So I'm not sure if that was all due to just the river itself, or if that area actually had some glacial flow. But all around the surrounding areas, I think, of Wisconsin Dells, there was glacial flow which changed the landscape. So maybe someone could tell me a little bit about that at some point, whether or not the Wisconsin Dells were affected by the glaciers, or perhaps Witch's Gulch and Standing Rock as well, if those were actually carved out, or if that was just natural, if that was the water itself, not the ice. And we're kind of making our way up towards Sauk City, and that is again up to the area of Wisconsin Dells. But the interesting thing about the Sauk, they were, I guess, a tribe of Native Americans, and there was a kind of a notable event called the Black Hawk Wars, where it wasn't a chief, I guess a war leader called Black Hawk had led a contingent to try to reclaim tribal lands that were kind of signed away. It was a bit detailed in terms of the different contracts and the acquisition of lands and things like that, but basically his tribe, or certain factions in his tribe, were very unhappy with the terms, and they came back down out of Canada, a group of them, and made war on the US government as well as the neighboring tribes. So there was a war here called the Black Hawk War, and this is all the region in which it, came down all the way from Green Bay to this area. And I guess that was an extensive part of the history of this part of Wisconsin as well as Illinois.
Some 1980s pop culture. My name is Will, and Joining me, as always,
1980s now, Chad
I don't
O'Connor.
know how to do it. This is new.
I think you should do it as always, my friend and co-host Ray, and our new co-host.
And then you say hello, and then I say our name.
Yeah, and then you say, holy, we have a new co-host.
I'll see what
Not like that, but
then what do I do next?
Do you have to have a bleep when you introduce me?
no, because I'm not going to introduce you.
And what do we do next?
But I want him to be excited. I want him to say it in a way that's exciting.
She knows to give me directions.
Over the Mississippi. I'd say that right now there seem to be less and less trees, and I feel more like I'm actually in the plain state. Things are getting much flatter. If you look around, you can kind of see that. A lot of farmland. Starting to see a lot of the flat country, pretty much farms. This is it. It's very flat. A lot of windmills. I am going to fuel up at the next gas station and mainly clean my windshield. I feel like because you're around so much farmland, there's just more and more bugs that fly into your car. Outside of Sioux Falls. I haven't crossed the border yet, but there's an incident back there. Just two deer walked out right in front of me while I'm on the road with a semi behind. I mean, luckily I was able to slow down a bit. I knew that there were no cars in the other lane, and then I took off around them. One of the deer even fell in the middle of the road. I was thinking that the semi behind was going to just cream them, but I guess they all slowed down in time. But it's very difficult to see when the sun's in your eye, and the sun, well, luckily I have my Ray-Bans on, but still, it's, we are going west and right into the sun. This is interesting. You can see how flat the area is, how far you can see all the way to the horizon. There's no mountains, nothing. I just saw my first sign for Wall Drug. 291 miles to go to Wall Drug, which I will be going to later, but right now we're about to take this exit. Park, Big Sioux River. Alright, we're here at Sioux Falls, famous falls. Go take a look. Well, I guess depending on the season, if the falls have a higher amount of water, this is all covered up. Or depending on the time of day, most likely depending on the season, probably after the winter, it's a lot more gorged and the water's flowing a lot faster, but it's nice. Ooh. Let's go this way. I'm glad I finally made it to see this. pretty cool. All right, let's see what we're gonna do for dinner.